Welcome to Perspective, a program that brings you burning issues of the moment. We discuss, analyze, and dissect topical issues by engaging stakeholders who give their perspective on issues that impact our society. Today, we'll be focusing on Abuja politics and specifically Gwagwalada, where we'll be having a stakeholder who will be telling us more of the controversies surrounding the politics in Gwagwalada Area Council. He's not any other person but Honorable Ibn Jafar Paiko. He is the current councillor representing Paiko Ward. He is also the organizing secretary for Councillors Forum of Nigeria, spokesperson FCT Councillors Forum, and vice chairmanship candidate under People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming election that will be holding in 2022 February 12. Thank you for coming into this platform, Perspective, Honorable Jafar, Ibn Jafar.
Thank you for inviting and welcoming me to this Perspective platform.
We all know that the council's election is around the corner, very close indeed, and by February 12th, all the councils will be holding their elections. And let's look at Gwagwalada precisely. There have been a lot of intrigues in the political space in Gwagwalada. What can you tell us? What are these happenings as an insider?
Well, first and foremost, like I did say, I have to appreciate the presenters for seeing me as a personality worthy of invitation. Secondly, like you did say, in every political dispensation, there are always alignment and realignment, and this involves a lot of political scheming. Of course, the 2022 Area Council election, particularly in Gwagwalada, cannot be an exception. There have been a lot, starting with the declaration of interest of various aspirants right from the party level, which was sometime held in April this year, that is 2021. Like myself, we were then of the All Progressive Congress. It may interest you to know that in the party, I enlisted my interest to contest the office of the chairmanship. But after some consultation, consideration, and reconsideration, we did have political alignment and realignment, which I come up to support Honorable Kasim Mohammed Ikwa, the incumbent vice chairman, on the platform of All Progressive Congress, the APC. This primary was scheduled, and most of the candidates, so to say, dropped along the way. Interestingly, the primaries was to be held between Honorable Kasim Mohammed Ikwa and Honorable Abubakar Jibrin Giri. The primaries began. About 6 to 7 ward delegates voted. In fact, my camp, which is the Kasim Ikwa camp, was winning the primary with a wide, unimaginable margin. Until then, we were told by the electoral officer that they were called, that the primary proved to be held. For reasons best known to them, for up to this moment as I speak, it was never disclosed to us why the primary should be cut off. And that is exactly what happened. The incumbent chairman, Honorable Mustafa Danze, who is popularly known as Obama, being a peace-loving person, says under his watch, no life will be lost. With our enormous supporters who were hell-bent to hear the election result. Says the electoral officers are going nowhere until the result is announced. But he stood his ground to make sure that those people left in peace and nothing happened. To us, as faithful party members, we were waiting for the following day, whether we'll be called to a platform where discussion will be made and perhaps another primary be conducted properly so that we can have the candidate. But to our great dismay, the following day, we were told that our candidate, Honorable Kasim Mohammed Ikwa, has been suspended from the party. Not only that the ticket was unanimously given to Abu Giri. These were the things that come to play at the APC primaries. And as Nigerians, with freedom of movement and association, we deem it fit that that was a political coup to retire some politicians untimely, and being contemporary politicians with digital political knowledge, we take a digital political steps.
That's quite interesting.
Exploring our constitutional right of freedom of association. We therefore resigned our membership of the All Progressive Congress and moved into the People's Democratic Party. There again came another interesting political drama.
Before we move further, I would like to ask the situation surrounding the suspension of Qasim as at the time of the primaries, when they called for his suspension. What really transpired?
Well, like I said earlier, except if an actor of the All Progressive Congress could come out today publicly to say these are their reasons for their suspension, to us is still unknown. However, as politicians, we come to deduce from the fact that they don't want him to fly the party flag, and there was no any democratic way they could beat him down because he has garnered all the support. The APC, as it were, as at that April, if primaries were to be conducted 7 times in 7 days sequentially, Qasim will still win the ticket. And so for those who think that they have the party at hand and they don't want him, the only option is to say they have suspended him. Having been suspended from the party, he has no right to contest under that platform any longer. And I think that was the way, and that's why I describe it as a political coup.
Do you think they have considered Qasim as a threat?
Well, that is another topic altogether, for we are talking of the scenario that surrounds the APC primaries. But as it is today, if there is any political threat to APC in Gwagwalada Area Council, that threat is known and called as Honorable Kasim Mohammed Ikwa.
Well, that is interesting. Well, you being an insider and a former APC carrying member, your defection plus that of your principal to People's Democratic Party, it's not like you're not, they have seen the handwriting on the wall, being that you are not loyal to the party. Maybe I could assume, you understand, that these are some of the intrigues that they may have seen to have, that may have led to the suspension of the principal.
Well, like
because party politics is all about loyalty. What would you say for this?
Well, like I said from our introduction, I am a sitting councillor of my ward. And by the virtue of my office, I am the party leader at the ward level. 2, Kasim Mohammed Ikwa is the current vice chairman. And in his ward too, despite the fact that he is a councillor, but he holds the highest political office, thereby making him the leader of his political party is what? Myself, Council Momerikwa, and all other APC councillors, as part of our not only paying loyalty to the party, but in our earnest desire to build the party, we have a deduction made from our salary that is paid to the party so as to boost the party activities. And until later this year, that some of us, having left the party, deem it necessary to put forth a letter to the council for the stoppage of that deduction. Or if not, our dues has been up to date. Secondly, in the contest, as a democratic party, it is open. And at no point were we told that there will never be a contest. So our contest was done within the ambit of the law, not only that of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but also that of the All Progressive Congress. And we have no whatever, be it criminal or whatever proof, that is against us to contest the election. So there was no anything that can be said to be a disloyalty, except for that interest that some people might hold, and they might peradventure be at the helm of affairs of the party, that they think they can bend the law to suit them. But as far as that contest was concerned, we make sure we were in tandem with every electoral rules and guidelines.
Okay, now you are in PDP. You won your councillorship under the platform of APC, yes. And now you are in PDP. And of course, vying for the position of vice chairman in the forthcoming election. Yeah. The election is just 2 months away from now. You and your principal, looking at the controversies surrounding the politics in Gwagwalada, what difference are you going to make in Gwagwalada politics now that you're in PDP?
Well, first and foremost, the victory of democracy is for the people to be in charge. Just like the democracy was defined by Abraham Lincoln. It should be a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And it is our earnest desire and dream that we should form government of the people. That is, we want a legitimate government whether it will hold a mandate of the people. It's not maneuvering. It's not cutting any short corners. We want the ballot from the ballot to get this our mandate from the people, from the electorate. That is why we are down talking to the people. And by the time we form this government, we will know the government will be formed by the people and it will be of the people. For we will be there to carry the yearnings of the people of Gwagwalada Area Council. In a more open terms, if you are saying the differences, we want to run a true democratic government in Gwagwalada Area Council where every interest will be carried along, even though it is said that majority have their way in the democracy, but minority also have their say. And this say should be put into consideration. Today, in FCT, and after AMAC, it is Gwagwalada. It is more a Nigeria in miniature, where every ethnic group has a say. Ethnic group has a role to play, for no one can do it all. And our intention is to have a government that the people can actually call their own.
Well, now that you mentioned FCT, a miniature of the whole Nigeria, I think when we come back, I will talk about the politics in Gwagwalada again that is characterized by sectional tribalism and nepotism. But as soon as we come back out of this politics, I think we need to deal with that, because it said that Abuja is for every ethnic group. Thank you. After this break, we will be discussing more on the Gwagwalada politics.